From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Features Edition for Monday, October the 14th, 2019. A group of Israelis gathered at the gravesite of German industrialist Oskar Schindler last week in Jerusalem to mark 45 years since his death. Those gathered were mostly the children of those saved by Schindler. Among the 1,200 people placed on the now famous Schindler's List, whom Schindler claimed were workers that were essential to his factories, saving their lives during the Holocaust. Audio recordings from the Nuremberg trials will be made available to the public. The hundreds of hours of the first high-profile trial of senior Nazi leaders were presented to the Memorial of the Shoah in Paris for the first time in digital form last week. Since 1950, the recordings have existed on 2,000 large discs housed in the International Court of Justice Library in The Hague. Shoah Memorial head archivist Karen Taib said she hopes the newly digitized audio files will allow researchers and students to better understand what happened. She told the Associated Press, "You can read the trial, but when you hear the trial, it's different." Jewish organizations last week mourned the passing of longtime leader of the Jewish community of Tunisia, Roger Bismuth. Bismuth represented the Jewish community in the North African country and was an informal advisor to generations of Tunisian political leaders and business figures, among the most influential Jewish voices in the world. The American Jewish Committee's Chief Policy and Political Affairs Officer Jason Isaacson said Bismuth looked after his country's small Jewish community with vision and sensitivity, and as a national figure helped guide Tunisia towards stable democracy. The head of the Jewish Agency is among the many Jewish voices calling for increased security at Jewish institutions in light of the attack on a synagogue in Halle, Germany on Yom Kippur. Isaac Herzog sent a strong letter to 30 European heads of state demanding increased security, also demanding that every possible effort be made to effectively combat anti-Semitism through legislation, enforcement, and education. And staying with the Jewish Agency, just ahead of the Jewish festival of Sukkot, which began last night, the agency shared video on social media of a special sukkah built in the country, a sukkah that was designed and built by young immigrant Jews who made Aliyah to Israel from 45 countries, and who they wrote represent the diversity of beliefs, backgrounds, and cultures of the entire Jewish people. And Israel's president, as is tradition, is hosting an open sukkah later this week for the public to visit. Rivlin said, "Come and visit the sukkah of peace and togetherness where everyone belongs and which belongs to everyone." He said Beit HaNasi, which is translated into English as home of the president, is the people's home, and the president's sukkah is the sukkah of all Israelis. We welcome everyone. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, October the 14th. At 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, Thane Rosenbaum talks about his book, How Sweet It Is. At 8, we hear from author Jonathan Tropper. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Rabbi Aryeh Katzin on L'chaim. And then celebrity chefs speak at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast, Dan Gilbert talks about happiness. And that's the JBS News Features Edition for Monday, October the 14th. I'm Teisha Bader. See you back here tomorrow with the JBS News Update.